Happy Friday, everybody. So during the week, I usually sit and plan out what my meals are going to be for the following week. Usually that occurs on Thursday. However, I did not get to it until today. So today was meal planning and also grocery shopping. And since the pandemic, I have been doing the majority of my grocery shopping online. And lo and behold, I have found that it actually has saved me a little bit more money budget-wise, because I'm not going into the store and doing what my husband calls off-list shopping. And so I actually have not returned, and I actually have fallen in love with it. And I have all my little go-to stores that I buy my specific grocery items for. So I just get into a routine and I meal plan. But today, what I wanted to show you is, because I meal planned, I knew that I needed to make our bread for the week. And my family's gluten-free. So we have tried just about every gluten-free bread there is out there on the market, and we've never gotten 100% love with all of our family members. My daughter is probably like, yes, it's amazing. And then my son's like, no, it's actually disgusting. So I finally said, I have got to figure this out, because it is expensive to be buying gluten-free bread and then nobody likes it, and then I end up throwing it away. So I have found, which is amazing, a gluten-free bread recipe that my entire family loves. And so my favorite, one of my favorite kitchen items is my bread machine that we use pretty much on a weekly basis. And it's just dependent too on what I have planned out for the week for meals. So sometimes I'll only have to make one loaf, or I'll end up making 2 or 3. So I thought while I was doing this that I would just show you guys. It's super easy, and it definitely is much, much cheaper to make it yourself. And if you have a bread machine, just double check to make sure that you have a gluten-free option on it. I'm not sure the difference between if you put it on a regular one, if it would work or not. So if you're looking to purchase one to start making your own bread, and you are thinking about making gluten-free bread, I would definitely make sure that there's a gluten-free option on there. But there's like 6 other options on here that you can do too, with other types of flours. So super easy. I'm going to walk you through it. So the inside is this little cute canister that does all the mixing, the kneading, everything under the sun that you would be doing by hand. It does it for you. And this is where you put all your ingredients in. And this recipe that I use, you have to put the ingredients inside in a specific order. So the very first is just 1 1/4 cups of water, and I pour it just right in. Then the second is oil. You can choose your types of oil that you want to use. I try to use as much as possible the avocado oil, especially when something gets heated up, because it has a high heat index. So I will use the avocado oil in my bread. This is also a dairy-free one, but you can also use butter too as your oil. But this one is 1/4 cup, and we're gonna pour it just right in, and it'll just mix in with the water. Then it calls for 3 eggs, which I will just go ahead and crack and put into a little glass container before I put it inside of my container, just in case any little fragments happen to fall in and I have to dig them out. That's never fun. So get those cracked up. Go ahead, just pop them on in. And then the next is salt. We like to use the pink Himalayan salt in our household. And this is 2 teaspoons of salt. So we will just put those in real fast. And then the next ingredient is kinda at your disposal of how much you wanna do. You can use regular sugar, which would be 4 tablespoons of sugar, or you can use honey, and I opt for my raw unprocessed honey. And my kids like to have it a little bit sweeter, so instead of 4 tablespoons, I will put in between 5 and 6, but play around with this. Sometimes I don't want it real sweet, and I'll just only put in 3 tablespoons, and then when the kids are like, oh mom, I would like a little bit sweeter bread, then I will put in between 5 and 6. So it's just gonna be based on what your family loves and what, you know, and how much sugar you want to put in. So there's my honey, my little sweetener. So the next one is our flour. And I will tell you this because I have done it before. This recipe, for whatever reason, only takes the cup for cup gluten-free flour. I have tried it with other flours and I have failed miserably. It's because I probably didn't have any on hand. And so I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna try this. No, it doesn't work. So if you're going to make this recipe, you need to get the cup for cup gluten-free flour. I don't know if it's the mixture or what, but it works perfectly and others do not. So now your flour is 3 1/4 cups of your flour. Now I will tell you, if you buy the large cup for cup bag, you will be able to get 2 loaves out of that bag. And a lot of times I will just make them back to back. So I have it ready to go for the week, especially now that my kids are back in school and I'm having to pack lunches, having the bread for them for their sandwiches. And then once you put in the flour, of course, the last one is your active dry yeast. And it is 2 teaspoons. And that was it. Super easy. You pop your container back into your bread machine. Make sure that it is locked. Mine, you just have to twist to the right and lock it. And then I will close it up. I will turn it on and I will push the gluten-free option, and 2.5 hours later, you will have your bread. And the bread comes out, it's not like a big gigantic loaf, so don't think it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be kind of like a block, but 2 of them gets us through the week, and you can warm it up, you can toast it, it is perfect. So this recipe, if you want to find this recipe, I have it up on my website at Live Natural, Live Simple, and it's under the free Food Love ebook, which will definitely walk you through how to grocery shop, how to stay on a budget, but still eat very healthy, eat organic. And I do provide, I think, 4 or 5 different recipes on there to get you started. And one of them is this gluten-free bread machine recipe. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. I know my family does. I know that my son loves to do this. I probably should have waited until he got home. This is one of his favorite things to do, is to help me with making the bread. So if you're trying to get your kids involved, this is a perfect way of doing it, with measuring and pouring in. So I hope you guys and your family loves the bread as much as we do. So cheers to you. Happy Friday. Happy healthy eating.